Now then, welcome back to VISOCraft. VISOCraftWars. We're on the VISOCraftWars server, and I'm currently gaining a load of XP in this liquid tank on a little mob farm that me and Peddy set up over the course of the last week. We've got turtles automatically killing all the mobs as they come from the spawners above. We're actually down in the dungeon, and yes, I have my map on. Yes, I have my map on. The coordinates are there for all to see. Turtles. Let me just show you quickly the turtle programming. It's such a super simple computer program. It's Control T to terminate the program and edit startup, and you will see how easy it is to set up. So while true do, turtle attack, then sleep, end. While true do, turtle attack, sleep, then end. Simple. All it's doing is attacking, and then sleeping for a second or a tick, and then attack, sleep, attack, sleep, and just keeps going, just keeps running. So we can exit that and run startup, and it will continue to kill all the mobs. And what happens then is the turtle would normally gather the stuff, but it's not doing anything there. The stuff is being sucked up by some of these vacuum hoppers in the back here. Let me just get rid of this NEI screen for you. There we go. Vacuum hoppers, very super simple to make, but they have two uses. One is collecting experience, which is what's going on in this tank behind us here, which is this tab here, and you set up the output to which side you want it, and in this case it's at the back, and also items that it sucks up. Because it's a vacuum hopper, it will literally suck things out of the air around it. Rather than a vanilla hopper that just grabs things that land on it, a vacuum hopper will suck things up from a few blocks away and then put them where you want them to. So this one's outputting items down. And what this is doing is it's putting items down into a vanilla hopper and putting the experience into the tank behind. And as the liquid XP fills up from all the mobs dying, I can just come along and right-click, gain a level, right-click, gain a level, right-click, gain a level. Literally that super simple. And you can see how fast I can gain levels using this method. It's, yes, a bit OP. And while I'm AFKing around here, all the mobs are just dying and filling up these XP tanks awesomely. All the items end up down in this chest down here. If I can click on it. Yes, I can. And slowly but surely, they're going to get cleaned out and filtered out along a pipe from thermal expansion and up the stairs into a little sorting system. So I would go in and show you what's going on in this mob farm, but it's probably going to be a bit too dark for you guys. But you remember remember the episode number 2 in VISOCraftWars where Peddy and I went into the underground dungeon and found a great big spawner room. Well, we found another spawner room, or maybe this was the same spawner room, I can't remember exactly. But we found the spawner room with a load of spawners in it, and we turned it into a little mob farm. It's a very simple mob farm, just the same as if you had one spawner. You would build a wall around it, put a roof on it, and put some water streams inside it. And the mob farm then just puts all the mobs down there into a big hole, a little 2x1 hole, and they all just funnel down there quite adequately and then get killed by the turtles. Back up here, when all the items come up through the pipes, they've got 6 chests here. These chests are the chests that we actually want things to go into, so I've got some trophies being gathered in there. I've got sulfur, all the sulfur I want, because the creepers produce more sulfur than gunpowder in this mod pack. So we've got loads of sulfur there. In fact, this chest is now full. Second chest is over half full. There's a gunpowder chest that's nearly full as well. And the third chest of sulfur is over half full as well. So we've got all that sulfur and gunpowder ready to take off to make all of our weapons of mass destruction. And I've also got a strong box here for necromancy bits and pieces. The necrotic bones and witchery creeper hearts and all the other necromancy things, and heads of creepers, zombies, and wither skeletons. We managed to get 2 wither skeleton heads from this. And it's only spawning wither skeletons every now and again, I think. There's a couple of creeper spawners here, and there's a couple of zombie spawners, and a skeleton spawner, and maybe a with a skeleton spawner. I can't remember exactly what we've got out there. We've just got loads of creepers for definite. And then the rest of the items that don't get filtered into those first things, because it always operates off nearest inventory first. So it will go down the pipe and check, can I go into this chest, can I go into that chest? And if the answer is no, then it'll move on to the next section of the pipe. Can I go into this chest, can I go into that chest? No, move on to the next section of the pipe, and so on. These item ducts actually have filters on, so that any items that could go in there should go into there rather than carrying on its journey. And I've filtered all of these with the appropriate bits and pieces that I want in those chests, so I don't need to fill the chest like this, like a vanilla hopper chest would need to stop items going in that aren't the right type by putting in one item in every slot. So I could put an empty chest there and it'll still only do sulfur, for instance. But then back here I've got a void chest, which basically just destroys all items that go into it. A void chest, it sends stuff to the void. And I've got 4 item ducts heading in here to get rid of all the armor types, all of the weapons and tool types, although that's not working quite as well as I expected it to. And also getting rid of all the zombie flesh and the carrots and the bones and arrows and bows and all of that kind of stuff. Even all the diamond armor, I'm just junking it, because we don't need it, because we are doing enough mining not to need anything like that. But for some reason I've got quite a bit of stuff in here still that's not quite what I want to get rid of. Like coal and iron and miniature red hearts, they are coming in here infrequently. But I'm also getting a lot of iron tools and swords and stuff that I'm manually then putting into the disposal unit. Because we don't need them, we don't need all this. I don't even need that diamond shovel. I'll just get rid. I'm going to keep that axe because, yeah, that's my axe for my hotbar. And, yeah, that system is working nicely. You can just stand here, AFKing for a bit, just in range of all of the spawners, watch what's going on. I'm sorry it's dark for you guys, but it's fun to watch them all coming down with all their various hats from the hat mod coming on and seeing where they all go. And then all the loot just comes in and we gather it all up. I have got a few other bits and pieces in here, which is just stuff that I was picking out while I was making this area. And we have an exit chute all the way up to the top there, which is just only available if you can fly like a bat. So I'm going to have a stand here for a few more minutes, just get a bit more stock together. I've got a level 30, so I'll go and do an enchant in a minute, I guess. And we will be back very soon with some more stuff to deal with all this sulfur. I think I'll just leave it long enough to fill all 4 of these chests to full, and then I'll be gone. And we'll do something with this. Alright guys, catch you in a bit. Right then, let's see what we get from our level 30 enchantment. Blast protection. Could be useful against missiles, unbreaking and magic resistance. Magic resistance, interesting. Well, there's the helmet. So now I've got a bit of a kit of diamond enchanted stuff and no levels again. Looks like Peddy's been very busy over here. He has been mining again, and over in the ores section over here there's still a ton of ores to be processed. Oh, look at all them stacks on stacks. All the pulverizers working, nearly all of the furnaces working. I think the furnaces are working more efficiently than the pulverizers right now, so they're focused on making all of the goodies. We've got a chest over here that's filling up nicely with stuff, and a load of chests here that have already got stuff in that he must have already done. Tin ore there. That's a chest I just brought up with a load of odds and ends. Full iron ore, full lead, some more copper, just a few diamonds and a bit of quantum dust. We'll move the quantum dust away from there and put it into the QCraft thing, because I don't think we're going to be doing anything on QCraft much on the VISOCraftWars. I don't see it as being an important thing that we need to get into. Silver and the aluminium from Tinker's Construct in there, and then various other gems and stuff, I see. So let's grab some of this and put it away a little bit, and I've got some other bits and pieces that I need to take with me to our base, our factory, and get sorted out. I've got some odds and ends that I've picked up from the mob farm as well as all of this sulfur and stuff. So I'm going to head on over. Oh, we've got these little elevator blocks. Unfortunately, I don't think I can use it right now because I've got no experience. Let's see if I get some XP off the berries. No, I can't. Splash potions. Have you got any potions of XP? No, I haven't. Oh, well, I'll have to fly up. But they use experience to allow you to jump between blocks, one elevator block to the next. Very handy until you run out of XP, that is. And a base number 2 over here. I've got the nether portal set up. I've been in there, but there's not that much special in the nether. We just quickly used it for farming stuff out. And this beautiful place here, if we have a look from a higher up advantage point, it reminded me of one of those Bond villain bases. So I decided that I was going to have my base right in the centre. So the factory is right in the centre there. You can just about see it there, which is a bit odd. Maybe I should have put some more dirt around it to hide it a bit better. But if we drop down into here, hey, we've got an air pocket in the water, and this is made by using a sponge from OpenBlocks. A sponge from OpenBlocks, 1, 2, 3. It's a 3 block from each direction of the cube, so it ends up being a quite a large. I think it's 7. Yeah, 7 by 7 by 7 cube of no liquids allowed. It sponges up, it sucks them all up. So I just went one block of water lower and built a big opening like this to be able to isolate a hole down into the base. The factory, the hidden factory, is now revealed. What am I doing, you might wonder? Well, by the time I've got all of this done, you should probably be seeing this video as me finished with this base, and we'll be someplace new, someplace on the moon. Peddy has already made the first rocket. Rocket number 2 we shall not speak about. That is a problem that we will not go into detail about. Peddy knows what I'm talking about. This rocket went missing. Rocket number 2 was like Apollo 13. It did not work. So we've still got one rocket there, and we've got space for a second rocket. These things are launcher support frames, ready to have missile launchers. And I'm thinking about just hollowing out, opening up that area up there to be able to fire all these things up and out to destroy the world. We've done a fair bit of updating and upgrading around here. The farms are all doing the same thing, but now we've got charcoal coming from them. Charcoal farming. So down here we've got raw plastic being made down there, and this is for charcoal. I'm guessing that this is a bit stuffed at the minute. Yeah, it's stuffed with raw rubber. So if I turn that off from rubber, because we don't really need to process the rubber anymore, get rid of that, and take out that raw rubber from there, the next load should arrive. Take that out from there, and that'll start smelting that lot up. This one will receive the next load, which will open up that so that it doesn't have rubber in it anymore. Yep, there we go. And that should free up for the wood to start coming through again. There we go, and start making the charcoal again. And that is the pick up by hand charcoal section. I'm just going to dump all that in there for now. And over this side we've got the 2 oak farms, 2 oak wood farms, funneling everything into these 2 furnaces over here, making charcoal out of all of the oak wood that we produce, leaving us nothing but apples in there now, which I am going to munch on because we have so many of them. We've got rubber wood in there as well. That's a bit odd. Let's take a couple of stacks of the rubber wood and put the rubber wood in there to smelt up while we're waiting for oak wood. There we go. And then the charcoal ends up coming all the way along the factory and into this system over here. And this looks like Peddy's added a few more bits to it. But in this system here we had charcoal coming in and iron that we place in there, and the iron and charcoal then get distributed out to these devices here. We've got a blast furnace for making steel, so the charcoal comes in, uses the iron up and turns the iron into steel. Same with the other one down there, waiting for charcoal by the looks of it there. And also these induction smelters use charcoal and iron to make steel. this one's managed to get 2 iron in it. That was good. And that's powered by another cheaty little steam turbine, just to keep those powered up nicely. Making a lot of steel, all those 4 things there, which is very good. We like... what's he got set up here then? We've got aluminium ore going into the top slot of a furnace, and then the aluminium ingots being put down. So I see he's got it so that the coal or charcoal will go in the back there, and then the aluminium ingots will come out the bottom. Yeah, he's got that set up right. But it's just a normal vanilla furnace, just using charcoal to smelt all of this VISOCraft aluminium ore, because there's no doubling up VISOCraft aluminium ore, so there's no point putting it into the rest of the automations. And then down here we've got VISOCraft compressors, which is taking steel and making compressed steel. And that one's making compressed bronze, and that one's making compressed aluminium, and that one's making heavy duty plates, which is aluminium and steel together. Peddy's doing most of this by hand, it looks like. I think the only input is down here for some charcoal, I'm guessing. Or maybe that's steel into there. It's not fully automated completely right now. It's still a lot of it by hand, but it's making an awful lot, which is very good. We like. I also have a Tinker's Smeltery set up. It didn't take long because I've got the clay and sand to make the grout from that system over there that I've made the other day to make the fiberglass. And we've got a bucket load of fiberglass as well now, so we're good to go with making things that explode and go make loud noises. But in here we've got molten bronze, because the only way I can see of making bronze in the mod pack is either through an induction smelter or a Tinker's Smeltery. So I made a quick Tinker's Smeltery to dump a load of ores in. What's that on the top? Oh, that's another... Oh, that's a spare one. And then just pour it out into these block form to the breakdown into the ingots that we need. Got a few bits of lava over here, I see, for topping this up to keep it going. And bronze is a fairly important component for making these launcher supports and launcher platforms and control panels and stuff to launch our missiles. So that is what really we should be working on next, because I've got these tons and tons of sulfur and gunpowder. Let's see, the sulfur. I did have a little setup over here somewhere that was just processing the sulfur quickly. Here we go. Sulfur and charcoal make gunpowder. So one of the ways I was making gunpowder was you put 1 charcoal in the middle and 8 sulfur around the outside, and you end up with a gunpowder. So we've got quite a bit of charcoal here that's sitting just waiting to be used. Let's take a bit out, because we're short charcoal in the rest of the place. And that one is okay. So flick the lever and that'll turn the pipe that's behind them, the item duct, on, and it'll start sucking sulfur from up there and charcoal from down there and put it into the cyclic assembler, which will start making the gunpowder for us when it's got enough sulfur, that is, and then the gunpowder chamber will fill up nicely. However, I've got a load of gunpowder over here already, so I'll place that one down over here, out the way, and then I've got a load of gunpowder already made up, and we'll take this sulfur one back here and put the other sulfur one down instead, which is that one. Boink, there we go. And then this should then receive more sulfur, yep, there we go, and start making more gunpowder to fill this gunpowder up as well. And then we should end up with 2 strong boxes full of gunpowder, which is almost a double chest of gunpowder, which is pretty sweet. I don't think we need all this charcoal, but once we've got all of that gunpowder and all of that sulfur, I don't think we're going to need to worry about production for a little while. And with that mob farm, we're going to be able to go and fetch more sulfur any time we want. So now I can just about make any of the weapons from the Flan's gun mod quite easily, because we've got all the gunpowder we need, all the fiberglass we need, tons and tons of iron, loads of wood. There's even a golden desert eagle. I can find a bit of gold for one of them. RPGs, all of it. We can make all of it. Claymores, I might have a go with them and just put a load of claymores around the base. Now we're showing the coordinates of the base. People will be possibly coming down to try and raid us. but in theory we should have moved on from this base before they see this video. So it should be no point to them, no point at all. Is this over here? Or spawner. So let's work on getting some missiles made. So I'm going to get a few bits and pieces set up and organise what's left in my inventory, put it all away, and I'll be back with you guys in a moment to make some missiles. Alright, so we are back, and we are bats. I'm working on an idea to automate the process of making basic circuits. The basic circuits are used to make the core of almost everything in this mod. As you can see, there's 7 different pages of things that you can craft using basic circuits, including the tier 1 launcher platform, which requires the bronze from Tinker's Construct and a basic circuit to make the launchers, which will need the launchers to be able to launch missiles. If I want to launch multiple missiles, then I'll need multiple launchers, and so on. Also need a control panel, which requires a circuit, and glass and redstone. So the circuit is very important. There's even a thing called a radar station, which we're going to check out a bit later on maybe. But the main core component is a missile module. Almost every single missile needs a missile module and then some form of explosives with it to make a missile. So basic circuit, steel, and flint and steel are the required components to make a missile module. And what I want to do is make it so that I can just quite literally save a bit of crafting time, because the circuit requires a block of iron, 4 redstone comparators, and 4 pieces of redstone. So of course, a block of iron, 4 redstone, easy enough. But the comparators, they're just a little bit on the awkward side to keep crafting up all the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some schematics and make it slightly automated for lazy people like me. So I'm going to have a schematic for the redstone comparator. He's got a gun out. I can hear him loading a gun behind me. Do not shoot me. Do not shoot me. I'm busy here. He's doing something. And then once we've got that, we're going to take it and we're going to make the rocket. There we go, the basic rocket. We'll put that in there. Unfortunately, there's a few flint and steel spare that Petty made by accident. So we'll write that schematic there. We got that one. So there's at least 2. It's a ghast now. Ah! A ghast shooting a bullets at me. Die, ghast! Die! Die, ghast! I keep getting a ting like I'm shooting a player every time I hit with the arrow. I bet I'm doing more damage with an arrow than you're doing with a gun.
I'm almost dead.
I'm doing more damage with a normal bow than I am than you are with a Flan's gun. I might have a smaller hitbox than you.
Yeah, maybe.
So there's the redstone comparator and the missiles. I could probably go in and craft up quite a lot of other bits and pieces using this technique as well. But I just want to make it a slight easier. I want to make it so that if I put some iron blocks into a machine, the machine will churn out missile modules so that I can then add explosives as I choose and launch them as I want. And if I want 64, then it'll be just a bit quicker. So I think I'm going to set it up over here in this section. These strong boxes currently have nothing in, so we'll get rid of these strong boxes for now. And set up something quick and dirty over here for manufacturing. So I've got some cyclic assemblers. I've just made 10 because I know I'm going to use a lot of them now because they're really cool for automation. Got sulfur in there. I don't need that anymore. I've got some steel there. I'll take that out of that one. And I've got some condensed explosives there ready to make stuff. So for a start, let's just put the first cyclic assembler up here and make that the one that makes redstone comparators. So if I put some redstone torches, some redstone, and some stone, where's the stone? Over in this chest over here. I could make stone automated through an igneous extruder as well. But all I want to do really is just put these things in here and have a look and then power it and get what I need. Out of it. For now, I'm just going to nick one of these power cells from down here because at the minute I've got all the fiberglass I need, so I don't need any more fiberglass from this bad boy. So let's put that on the side there and make it output on that side. Yep, this should now receive power. Yep. So now all it requires is some nether quartz. So it needs nether quartz. There we go. We've got 8 comparators made. So that was a quick, swift process. Redstone torches, stone and nether quartz. So it doesn't actually need the redstone. So now when I just put the material components into this cyclic assembler, it's just going to quickly make a load of comparators for me, instead of me having to go through the process of putting the recipe and a crafting bench and so on every time I want it. So take out the redstone comparators. I can go one stage further now and have that these redstone comparators go down into this cyclic assembler down here, which will then make the missile modules which need them. So if I change this output over here to down instead of that side. In fact, let's clean them off first. Put them to down. So that will now make them and put them down here when I need them. And also in here I need steel ingots and flint and steels and basic circuits. Ah, it's the basic circuit plan I want in there actually. Let me go and make a basic circuit plan quickly, because it doesn't look like I got it there. Yeah, there we go. So that. Put the blank schematic in there. Take that. There we go. That's the next stage. The blank schematic for that one instead. So put that into there. That is basic circuits. And I'll power it down from the side. So we'll grab some cables. We've got some cables. Oh, we run out? Looks like we've run out of leadstone energy conduits. Do you have any energy conduits on you?
I got 3.
Just chuck them on the floor for us. I only actually need a couple.
Behind you.
Way, thank you. Okay, so we can put those... Wait, fly up. We can put those there, and that should then take energy out from the bottom as well. And that should power that. There we go. And also the other one that I want to use. Can throw that one down there as well and let that stock up with some power while I'm waiting as well. Okay, so the first stage, that's the making the basic circuit. So we want that one down. We want the making the missile module. Yeah, so we make the basic circuit in this one, which will be redstone dust. We're going to need blocks of iron and redstone comparators. So redstone comparators come down from the top, and we need blocks of iron. So this will be where I decide, right, I want to say, let's go with a 15 for a start, because I've got 15 explosives. So we get 15 blocks of iron. We got quite a bit of iron. We're not struggling for iron since Paddy went on that big mining operation. Put that into there, and we should see that we're going to get started on this. So comparators, blocks of iron, and redstone dust. That should, in theory, do the job for me and make it. Make it now. I don't have output set up. Let's see if I set it up with an output down. That should work. Receiving from the top. That's got it there. And doesn't require a redstone signal. Yep. What am I missing? Block of redstone. Block of iron, should I say. It's all down as the chisel iron. It should be okay. And comparators. Yeah, I made a load of comparators, and there's redstone. Yeah. It's got everything it needs, so I don't understand why that's not working. That's a pain. That means I'm going to at least have to make that one still. I don't know if there's an auto crafting bench anywhere else. Let's just take the recipe out and check that I've got it right. Let's check it over here on this crafting table. So we'll put that in the middle. Those around the outside. Those in the corners. Makes the chip. Yeah. And what's that as? That is exactly the same recipe. Yeah. Maybe it's because that one is not this sort of iron. Let's take it like that. Write the schematic. There we go. So now we've got non-modded block of iron, and test that out. Put that into there. Okay, grab these parts again. It may just be that that's just one little problem with the compatibility of the mod. So we put the blocks of iron in there, there's 15. Redstone in there, and redstone comparators in there, and it makes them. There we go. So the problem was that this schematic was set up to a chiseled block of iron instead of just a standard vanilla block of iron. As soon as I put the right block of iron in, it has made me a couple of circuits. So there's something to consider when setting up a system like this, to make sure that when you shift-click a recipe into this workbench, that you actually put the right ingredients in. Probably better to manually enter all the ingredients yourself before you make it. Probably a good plan. And then, of course, from the steel circuits, I've got this circuit, steel ingots and flint and steel. So we'll put some steel in there, and we'll get some of these flint and steel that Peddy made too many of. They're in one of these chests. There we go. Grab a few of those. I don't want that boy. Grab a few of those, put those into this as well, and that should just make me missile modules. So now I can say I want 15 missiles, I can put 15 blocks of iron in there and make sure I've got all the right materials to make 15 circuits, and grab the circuits out and put the flint and steels in when I want missile modules. Just to save a bit of time on crafting, just have a nice auto crafting to get those awkward parts made automatically for me. So I can take the missile modules and just keep stocking up with various materials. So I can come down here and grab some steel. Let's grab a stack of steel, so we've got plenty in there for now. And we should have a lot of missiles made fairly quickly after this. There we go, I can take those two. So now I've got missile modules. All I need to do is add some explosives, which we kept down here. So let's put 2 explosives in there. I'm not going to actually show these exploding this episode. You'll have to wait until next episode for that. Because, well, I don't trust not blowing up the base if I do it from here. So we'll check that the coordinates are changed in these rockets for a start. Let's check this one. Check the control panel, and the target coordinates are 0, 0, and it's got insufficient electricity to power it to make it fire. So I'm safe to put this rocket on the launcher. So I'm going to right click on the launcher. I'm going to be careful not to click elsewhere, because there's lots of bounding boxes you can see lit up on these places. So I'm going to place it in the middle there, and we end up with a rocket almost the same size as the space rocket that we're going to be going to the moon in, thanks to Peddy's galactic craft engineering. It looks pretty cool. I like the look of these rockets, but they are pretty temperamental in impact. If they fire up and hit something, they will explode en route to whatever the coordinates are that you state in the missile targets. So I'm going to make a load more of these, get a bit of a setup going with some power supply and things like that somewhere else around here for a missile testing site, and then we, well, maybe me and Peddy will have a go at blowing each other up across the map, just to fire a few missiles at each other. Ready for next episode. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching VISOCraftWars. Tune in again tomorrow for the next episode.